Hey guys, welcome to another Gamer Goose video. I'm your boy, Gamer Goose. And so I realised that I should go back to what pretty much started this channel for, was reacting to movie fight scenes. The second video I ever did on this channel was reacting to the main fight scene, the climactic fight scene between Eric Banner and Brad Pitt from Troy. And I've been meaning to do that and just got lost, you know, the past like 10 months. And a lot of people seem to like it, so I thought I'll dive back into it and do some more movie reactions. This one today was one that a few people wanted from my Discord, and a few people have said to me because I'm a big Jurassic Park fan. So today I thought I would dissect the fight scene between the T-Rex and the Spinosaurus from Jurassic Park 3. My favourite sequel. I know a lot of people don't agree, but I don't care. Anyway, so I thought I'd do that, and because it's quite a short fight scene, I thought I'd also dissect the climactic boat scene in the river with the Spinosaurus from Jurassic Park 3 as well. It's not technically a fight scene, but it's, you know, it's a pretty cool scene, and technically it fights the boat and the people. So let's jump into it. Alright, let's get into a Spinosaurus vs T-Rex.
It's dead. Nobody move a muscle.
Love this bit. They will just fucking run away. So I just want to say, like, I always loved this bit when they run from the clearing. Sorry, they run from the bushes into a clearing, but surrounded by a forest. It just creates such a great atmosphere, and call it an arena as such. It just sets it up. I'm using my hands a lot. It just perfectly sets up, and like the first time I watched this as a kid, I don't really remember. But the first time watching it that I actually took notice of, in a like film type of sense, was you don't really sense what's going to happen in this scene. They run into the clearing, the T-Rex follows, and then this is when the Spino comes in. So we'll carry on from here, and I won't stop for a short period, but I just want to say, in a filming technique type of style, this is just fantastic directing from Joe Johnston here. It sets it up perfectly well, and like I said, awesome arena, and yeah, it just leads into a really good scene. Back into it. I love that bit too. Until the CGI isn't quite great here, but I mean, for 2001 it's fantastic. So you see, they size each other up there for a period, like animals do, like dogs do. It's very similar to a dog fight. Oh, quick ending. This is such a great end to the fight too. Yeah, so that was the end to that fight scene. So we'll break that down a bit. Like I said, very short scene. Obviously, for a lot of reasons, there's a reason why that scene's very short. You compare it to, you know, 14 years later in Jurassic World, when it's the T-Rex versus the Indominus Rex. Is that went for a lot longer and a lot more visual effects when it's because it's like the raptor that Moses saw at the end. But this 2001 is a very troubled production. Can't speak the word. Very troubled production. So yeah, I can see why it was short, because of obviously time restraints in post production, because it was very hurried. Like, shit was changing 2 weeks before the movie actually even started filming, and Joe Johnston was directing completely different script when he signed on, and it changed 2 weeks beforehand. So a lot of these things were rushed, but that, honestly, it's a great fight scene. I mean, you probably compare it to T-Rex versus Indominus Rex, and probably doesn't hold up, but for its time, it was awesome. Like, this was, don't forget, this is 4 years before Kong versus the, what are they called? I think everyone calls it V-Rexes in King Kong by Peter Jackson 2005. It was a very cool scene, like two very heavy CG products fighting against each other, but the way that it was choreographed as well. Now, I know using the word choreographed is a bit stupid with two animated animals as such, but you can tell that's what they did. They choreographed it, and like I said, it was like a dog fight. You could tell that they were squaring each other up. They were going to bite, and like literally like boxers and MMA fighters. They were literally testing their distance, see what they could do, and then they had a few exchanges. The T-Rex got the upper hand for a very short period, and the Spino knew that its length of its jaw and its teeth, and also the use of its hands and its claws, end up snapping the T-Rex's neck. I love this, and a lot of people are like, the T-Rex is the hero of the Jurassic Park franchise and gets killed by a Spinosaurus, blah, blah. But the thing is, what's come out now is the Spinosaurus, they theorize it looks very different to what it actually did in the movie in real life. But they've actually come across that in scientific finds that yes, the Spinosaurus did actually swim, which will lead us on to our next scene. And it was a very powerful dinosaur, a very big dinosaur, and very aggressive. I don't know how to really tell that, but that's what's come out. So, to all the fans out there that are pissed off with Jurassic Park 3 and don't like the movie because of this scene, don't hate the movie because of this scene. Genuinely, I love this movie. It's my favourite sequel. Obviously, nothing beats the original JP, but it is my favourite one apart from the original. For them to go through what they had to go through, and with the casting changes, with the screen changes, Joe Johnston, I think, did a really good job with this. And I think I've heard from Clayton Fioriti, who's another YouTuber, and he's fantastic. Go check him out. Link in the description. That from what he could gather, that the script they went with is a lot better than the one they were going to go with. So call ourselves lucky for this one. But yeah, that was a really great fight scene. We'll lead into the boat scene with the Spinosaurus. All right, like I said, we're on to the next scene, which is the Spinosaurus attacks the boat scene. Let's get into it. I always love this scene. I really just love the way that it breaches the water. It's kind of like watching an old crocodile horror movie. I always loved the comparison to obviously the little boy watching TV. They're in sunny daylight still, and they're getting attacked by a Spino in the middle of rain in the middle of a river at night time. It's gonna be great. One thing I will say about this scene, there's obviously cliche things in this whole movie. The most cliche thing about it is when the fuel tanks get punctured. You're like, okay, well, clearly the Spino is going to meet its end in a fiery blaze. Something's going to ignite the fuel, if it's a flare gun, blah blah blah. But still, then, I remember when I was watching this and I was dissecting, I'm thinking, oh yeah, it's pretty, I know what's going to happen. It's pretty predictable. But then you actually seeing how it's executed, thinking, okay, it was predictable, but it's really, really cool. And I really, really like the way it comes off. So we'll get back into it. I'll stop talking as much. Back into it. The dinosaur man. And I liked it. Ellie Sadler was the hero here. Because if it wasn't for her calling in the reinforcements at the end, they'd all be fucked. They'd be stuck on Dinosaur Island. It's like a cheap rip-off. I always wondered though how she knew exactly where they were on the island. I guess, did he tip her off that that's where they were going? I think he probably did. Just wasn't shown in the film. This is an editing issue or a screenwriting issue, I don't know. So scary the way the Spino uses his fucking hands and his claws. If they're that intelligent, I don't know. But I like to think they were. I love the Spino's raw, man. I don't care what anyone says. I'm part of the T-Rex. The way it's executed is just perfection. Just one more thing. I love that was like kind of like a shark cage vibe there. They're like in a cage, they're underwater, they're trying to get out, the claws coming in, the mouse coming in. I always really like that. It was kind of like, I like to think it's a nod to a shark cage. It probably wasn't, but I like to think that it was. Right, stop talking. I don't know about this scene. I don't know if that would be able to get the Spino's attention, how small he is, and what it was focusing on. I don't know. They're like, yeah, fuck William H. Macy, man. Fuck yeah, thanks a lot for the save, bro. The Spino would just be able to pick him off like that too. Like, it's not dumb, and it's not blind. It's only raining and it's dark. You'll be able to see. That long shot, they need to do more long shots, because the long shot of the Spino like this is just really good. Like this, that is a great scene. Fantastic direction and cinematography. I always thought William H. Macy was going to die, and this sounds like a heroic ending, but that's probably what they wanted everyone to think. Kind of back deep down. I'm not going anywhere. I love that the music changes. So when it's like, he's a hero and he's alive. Uplifting music by John Williams. Okay, so that pretty much, yeah. I pretty much dissected that scene as it went along, but a quick little review of that scene. Like I said, the highlight of that scene was the long shot of the flames with the mast with William H. Macy on it and the Spinosaurus. That's one of my favourite scenes in all of Jurassic Park franchise, along with another scene in this movie is when they enter the big bird cage. And I can't remember if it's the pterodactyl or the other one, but there's like a really thick fog and you see a figure, and as it gets closer it reveals it's a pterodactyl. Amazing direction and filming and cinematography in that scene. Great. Like, this movie has got a lot of great things. It's also got a lot of bad things, but I think the greats definitely outweigh the bad. And like I said, watch this movie again with knowing the things that I tell you, and like the knowledge you now have that this movie was just doomed to fail. And I think a lot of people forget or didn't know what it had to come up against when it was coming out. And like I said, the script was changed 2 weeks before the movie was set to film. And Joe Johnston was pretty much in the mindset for months beforehand that he was filming a movie, and then boom, 2 weeks later it changes. That was casting change. William H. Macy was brought on last minute. Actually, no, William H. Macy wasn't brought on last minute. I used to think that, but he'd signed on, obviously, to do the movie with the original script. It changed. He wasn't a big fan of the new script, and he wasn't going to do it. They ended up talking him into it. I don't know if it was more money or they just ended up, Joe Johnston talked him into it. But I'm glad William H. Macy was in it. Tia Leone, her acting does get a bit annoying. It's kind of a bit like the wife in The Shining. I can't think of her name. It's escaping me right now. But it's a bit like that with the screaming, yelling, just over the top acting. A bit meh. But the rest of the cast, fucking fantastic. The kill count wasn't as high, but very memorable deaths. If it's Udesky's death or Cooper's death, that's now become a meme. It's got a lot of memorable deaths. And yeah, the fight scene between the T-Rex and the Spino is definitely the highlight. But yeah, like I said, if you want to watch this movie with a different set of eyes, please do. And if you'd like to see more of these types of videos, I will be doing more. I'm currently recording more. I might even do another separate channel for my fight reactions / reviews. If they continue to be successful, I'll do a whole channel. And please tell me which fight scenes you'd like me to react to. I would love to get some feedback, and I would watch any fight scene review it for you guys. As always, if you like this video, please hit that like button. If you want to see more, please hit that subscribe button. And as always, my links will be down below for my podcast and for my Twitch. And as always, guys, I'll catch you later.